Hello and welcome to the last day of ownership of my 1994 Mazda Miata. I am selling it to a good friend that I met on Radwood, and it's going to go to a good home, but I feel like it's time to make room for another car, because I'm always looking at new cars, well, new old cars, but I really can't afford another car when there's only room for two in the garage. So anyway, let's do a quick walk around to the car and then maybe a quick drive. Sometimes the engine is super quiet, sometimes it sounds like a sewing machine. Today it wants the sewing machine. That will go away. Anyway, let's take a look around. So the story about this car, which I think is kind of cool, is I got this car in 2017 from my 8th grade social studies teacher, who I've actually stayed friends with throughout the years. That was a long time ago. I mean, that was like in the late 80s when I knew him at first. And he's like, this car, I've had it since it was new. I know you'll take care of it. Can you give it a good home? And I think I've done that. It didn't look like this when I got it. It needed to have the seats redone, which I did myself, which is not perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. The car needed to be repainted. I let Mako do it. It is an okay job for the $1,100 that I paid, and that includes them fixing some pretty bad spots on it. Yeah, I mean, kind of a lot of things have been replaced, but a lot didn't need to be. Like, these are the original door panels. They're in pretty good shape. You just have to grease the window rollers every once in a while. This part right here has been replaced. The original one was pretty beat up, pretty badly. Let's take a look under the hood. So it's a stock engine. The only thing I've done to it is when I had the valve cover off to change the gasket, I painted it with some wrinkle paint, and then in a little homage to all my old Volkswagens, the red is actually tornado red from many of my Volkswagens that I've had in the past. And I guess I'll show you the trunk since we're here. I'm certain when this video goes up, a lot of people are going to be like, wait, you're selling this? What is going on? How much did you sell it for? Why are you selling it? Well, I'm selling it, first of all, because I don't keep cars very long. This is probably the longest that I've kept a car, unless it was in a lease or something like that. 3.5 years. It's a long time for me. I actually really like this car. I'm probably going to have the major regrets after it's gone. But if this was my first Miata and this was the experience I had, I know if I get another one, I can have a similar experience. It looks like I didn't wipe down the hardtop. The hardtop is never ever on this car, ever. So that's just dust. But yeah, it's a cool car. Let's go take it for a drive. So like I said, I got the car in 2017 from my high school, or from my middle school social studies teacher, Mr. Simons. He was like, you all have that one teacher that was favorite teacher because, for whatever reason, I mean, he helped me look at learning a different way and taught me about visualization and all kinds of stuff. He's a good person. But yeah, he was like, about 10 years ago, I was detailing one of his Toyota Tacomas so he could sell it. And when I brought the car back, and I took the Toyota back, I saw this little blue Miata, and at that time, I was all in on Volkswagens. It was, Mark V GTI for me. And I remember seeing this little blue car, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. That looks like a fun car. I didn't know anything about Miatas. I was very ignorant about them. But I did see, like, how that car had, what's the right word? It's a special car. You could just see it like that. This little jelly bean with the hardtop on and everything is what it reminded me of. It just looks like a car that's, one of the special ones. I don't know if I'll go as far as to put it with like the original Mustang or the Beetle or anything like that. But I think it is an important and special car. So just in passing, I was like, let me know if you ever sell this car. I don't know why I said it. I didn't really even care. But it was one of the nicer ones that I remember seeing, having never really paid attention to Miatas. And then, several years later, I get a phone call, and he's like, hey, what's going on? No, not much. It's not like we have phone call conversations or anything, but he's like, well, I'm selling the Miata. Are you interested? And I'm like, I don't even remember what it looked like. Like, I remember it was blue, but I didn't remember if it had like a luggage rack on the back. I didn't know what color it was. Like, he was telling me the incorrect name of the color. He was calling it like Caribbean blue or something. And so I'm Googling Caribbean blue Miata, and surprisingly stuff would come up, but it's not the right color. It's called Laguna blue. So, but he gave me an offer that literally I could not refuse. It was just too good of a deal. So something's rattling. That was a seatbelt. So I was like, yeah. I bought the car sight unseen. When I show up, it's, I find out the paint code is Laguna blue. Get the car for next to nothing, and take it home. And granted, this car, probably in the last year or two of its life with them, didn't drive much. They had to like have it running when I showed up because the battery was dead. One of the tires was nearly flat. The brakes were in very good shape. So I was driving this car home. I'm like, what have I done? This thing's a pile of crap. But I went through it, took a weekend to kind of clean things up. I have a mechanic friend who was fantastic and helped me change all the fluids. I put new brakes, rotors and pads on it. Eventually got the car repainted. I wish I would have waited a little bit longer because I was rushing to try to get the car into a Radwood show. Not because I wanted to win or anything, but it needed paint very, very badly. So did all those things. I got the top replaced because it needed it. The glass top was, or the glass window had like literally sagged and wasn't staying closed or anything. So got that all replaced. And after I fixed all those little things, it's actually it's a really good little car. Like, it only had 100,000 miles on it. And then I started taking it on roads like this. And this is, I think, why this car was for roads like this. I mean, I'm not speeding. I'm probably, I'm within 5 miles an hour of the speed limit right now. And this is why this car exists. I mean, I have a 2019 Jetta GLI. It's a turbocharged 2-liter manual. It's tuned. It has over 300 horsepower. It would absolutely smoke this car. But it is not nearly as much fun to drive on a road like this. I don't know if I've driven really anything that's as fun to drive as this car without being illegal. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to drive a Lotus Evora 400. I've been able to drive, well, that's pretty much the top of the peak right there. That car is absolutely amazing. But it's so fast, and it's insane. It's like ludicrous how fast it is. Is it more fun on this road? Sure, absolutely. But if I get pulled over while having fun in that car on this road, they're not even going to give me a ticket. I'm just going home in the back of the police car. But in the Miata, you can go that fast, but you don't need to. So, yeah, I'm gonna miss doing what I'm doing right now in this car more than anything. It makes all of the rattles go away. And you know, I used to drive the single work once in a while, and while it made the commute better, it's not a good commute car. It's too small. It's not very comfortable on bad roads. And in California, there's nothing but bad roads. So, but yeah, if you haven't driven a Miata, I don't care what year it is, if it's an NA, which is the first generation, an NB, an NC, which everyone makes fun of for being a boat, that's a terrific car, or the ND, which I think is still one of the best cars available right now. That might be the car that I want to replace this one with eventually, like when the GLI is gone, and I don't really need to have a car that holds a lot of people, because I like what this car does, but I don't love that since it's 25 years old, it does make a lot of noises and rattles, and I don't like that I have to take the hardtop off to have the convertible, but I love when the hardtop is on for drives. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it's good. It's a car that you should definitely try driving once before they're all gone, before everything's automatics or electrics or whatever the hell the next form of whatever's going to replace the internal combustion engine. And for God's sake, get a manual. I mean, if you can see, there's a car in front of me. I'm not even like getting on his tail or anything because I'm not concerned about it. I'm just having fun going around the corners, I'm shifting gears, and the steering is so. I know you can't see the steering because of where the camera is, but it's so easy to steer this car, and the balance, it is perfect. Yes, rear-wheel drive isn't necessarily better than front-wheel drive, but when it is balanced like this, it's so much fun to drive. It's so rewarding. Alright, I might have lied a little bit. I don't enjoy being this close to these cars going 10 miles out of the speed limit, so I'm going to hold on for a second. Slow down a little bit and put the windows down so you can hear this. My MagnaFlow exhaust. Hold on a second. This is a bittersweet drive. I can't believe I've waited this long to make a video. Hopefully this thing records properly. I don't really get another chance to do a take on this. And maybe in a couple of days I'll come back and do it in my Jetta. And maybe you'll be able to hear me because it won't be as noisy inside. I'm just filming on my Pixel 5 with the standard mic that comes with the phone. So, but yeah, my God, I love this car. And I know it's going to a good new owner. He has 2 Miatas right now. He also has some Firebirds. skateboards and motorcycles, and I know it'll take care of it. Probably better than I did. I wish I was more mechanically inclined to be able to fix some of the things that bug me. But I appreciate, if anyone has managed to listen this far into the video, I appreciate it. I'd like to start doing more videos like this. But I'm just curious what, if anyone else has owned a Miata or driven a Miata, or if they think they have a car that's a better car than a Miata. Like I would imagine the old M3s are really good. They're more money. I mean, the Miatas are appreciating in value, but I still think this is still like the entry level performance buy of the decade right now. So, all right, I think I'm about ready to find a spot to take some pictures and then head back, and I'm going to do so with the music on and the windows down the way I always do it, and I'm going to enjoy my last 10 or 15 miles in this car before it goes to the new owner. Thanks a lot.